Okay, we're gonna skip to number 4 because those are still in bend. 4 is groove weld. Is the crown surface of sample G4 acceptable if it came from a 4-inch Schedule 10S that's welded to a 4-inch Schedule 160 production weldment for a pressure piping that will carry product that will reach a maximum of 500 degrees Fahrenheit? So G4 groove, we know we're on this. Now let's look at our answers. Yes, the weld reinforcement is less than the acceptance criteria. No, the weld reinforcement is more than the acceptance criteria. Yes, the weld reinforcement is acceptable if it's from a double welded butt joint. Yes, the weld reinforcement is acceptable if it only came from a single welded butt joint. So the answers are telling us we're going to look at weld reinforcement. Also the question, crown surface would indicate weld reinforcement. So it's also telling us we're going to go to pressure piping. Pressure piping is 4.0. Weld reinforcement is table 5. So we're in pressure piping. Sorry, pressure piping, weld reinforcement. Okay, so it's telling us thickness of base metal. Our question gives us 4-inch Schedule 10S, 4-inch Schedule 160. So that's diameter, because that's a pipe. That's the diameter of pipe. We need to know what the wall thickness is. So we know we have to go to pipe schedules. That. And you should know by now that that's on page 47. 4-inch Schedule 10 is 0.20, and there's 2 160. That's 0.530. But we should know that we don't even have to go to this one. We should just stop here because we need the smaller one. And that rule is stated on table 5. So when you're looking at table 5, the thickness of the weld reinforcement shall be based on the thickness of the thinner of the materials being joined. So we went to pressure piping, weld reinforcement, table 5, base metal thickness. Which one do I go by? Note 3 says thinner of the metals. For these two, this one's the thinner one. That's why the 10 schedule is smaller. 0.20. So we're going to go back to table 5 because our question also gave us a degree. So 0.20. 0.20, where would it fall here? So 0.20, let's do 1 divided by 8, right? If we don't know. So 1 divided by 8 equals 1.25, and ours is 1.20, so we're right under 1/8. And the question gave us 500, so 330 seconds. So we're gonna get our VWAC, because for VWAC we measure undercut, weld reinforcement. Okay, 330 seconds. Let's see if I can do this. Weld reinforcement. So if I know this is the 0 line, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be more or less across this little line. Right up in there, because 1/8 is 430 seconds, so we're above 1/8. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're at 330 seconds because this told us here 330 seconds is our maximum thickness reinforcement based off the size of the thinnest metal. So it's telling us to go to G4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. From what I'm seeing, it's way over my 330 seconds. Way over. So gauge, and the answer is, so this was a typo. It says yes, the weld reinforcement is less than the acceptance criteria. It's actually no, the weld reinforcement is more than the acceptance criteria.